All right, let's get this video started today. First off, I want to welcome the new legends, the 88 subscribers that have joined this channel the last week. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm excited to bring you this video and talk to you about how to leave your 9-to-5 job. This is something that I did. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Honestly, it was difficult. It was something where I had a lot of uncertainty and I didn't know exactly what to do. But eventually I figured it out and I started multiple businesses. Jay, run that clip.
I'm the realest one that's repping. Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend.
So I know that this is a huge topic and it's something that people want to know about because 80% of people say that they're not happy with their job. And I completely understand that, but you need to know that this isn't going to necessarily be the easiest path. But I'm going to share with you a battle plan that you can take and set yourself up to be financially free, to be actually doing what you want to do on a daily basis. And to me, that's what life's about. Life is about working on things you actually see purpose in, you see value in. So one day you wake up and you actually feel like, I'm excited to go through the day, because work is what we do with most of our life. If you actually break down the amount of time in a day, you're going to be working a lot in this lifetime. So might as well do something you actually want to do. And the hard facts are this: 16 million Americans own businesses, okay? That's what the 4%, the people that are in the top 4%, top 1%, the majority of them own businesses, and it's not easy. You know, there's a lot of stats on this. 90% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. Why is that? Because we're not actually taught in school skill sets that will help us get to where we want to go. And there's a lot of reasons about this, but the fact is this: is you don't have to own a business to live the life that you want exactly. But I'm going to share with you a bit of my story and what I realized, and then give you a battle plan to go whichever route's best for you. It could be in a career, it could be in a profession you really want, it could be something, you know, maybe more on the artistic side, or it could be starting a business. So my story is this: is I initially thought I wanted to get the highest paying job possible. That was my goal leaving high school. That's what I really dreamed of. And that's why I worked so hard in school, to be a valedictorian so I can go to a really good college. And I did that. And I went to an Ivy League school, went to Cornell University, great experience. And I got some of my first jobs there. So I'll go ahead and tell you what I realized doing those. And maybe you can look for some of these characteristics in the job you're working now. The first job I did was construction. This was absolutely, like, just to put it in a simple way, like, I hated this. Like, it was the thing that I dreaded. I dreaded waking up, and I finally understood why people go home from work, sit on the couch, and want to watch TV. I was literally drained. This was the worst experience. I decided I'm never doing that again, ever. I'm never doing labor again. That's why actually today I pay people to do stuff that I'm like, I don't want to do that. You know, I'm not putting together a sofa. That's just me. So the second job I had was, I was a counselor at a wrestling camp working with youth. So that was pretty cool. I actually didn't mind that one. And then the third one I had was doing data entry. And basically I would just type in information. I would do research, and it was super boring. And basically I was just zoned out. You know, if you're zoning out every single day at work and you're not actually like into it, you know, how long are you going to go through that? How many years are you going to go through that before you actually say, you know what, enough of this. I actually want to do something where I'm engaged, where I'm out there pushing myself to get better, pushing myself to be closer to where I want to be. And, you know, that was just a job for me. And then finally I went and I worked at a consulting firm. And this was like the first career, I would say I switched from job to like, okay, this could be a career. And I was working in an office where the top person made north of $400,000 in a year. The average person there made about $200K after a year. So for me, being as young as I was, being in that opportunity, it was definitely a great experience and I learned a ton, but I realized this is not for me. This is not what I want. And I remember I got to the point where, you know, I wanted to do really good at my job, and I did. I tried my best. At this job, I was there at 8 a.m., would leave at 10 p.m. I was the guy that was putting in the extra hours, and it finally just got to the point where I actually just felt anxious going to work every day, and I just really felt like, hey, am I really going to be doing this for 5 or 10 years? Is this right? And just kind of questioning what I was doing, and I started to do research on different things. And finally the day came where I left that job. And I took the leap of faith. And this leads me into the steps and points I want to talk about today. And then I'll wrap this up about how you can take this and how you should apply it, because I made a ton of mistakes doing this. So while I was in this job, I did start my side hustles. So I started day trading. And then I also started working with someone in a marketing firm, and I started doing that as, a side business, side income. And I remember there was a day where I was like just mind blown. I made my first day where I was like, wow. I had an $800 day trading. I also had a client that I picked up for my marketing firm that was about $3,000. And this was something where I was like, hey, there's actually opportunities outside of work, and this is what you need to do. You need to set up your side hustle. What I mean by that is pick up another source of income. Now, if you don't know what you want to do, like I had an idea. I was already so day trading, this is something I've already been looking at. I tried it before. It was something that, it caught my attention. I knew that I wanted to learn skill sets and alignment with like marketing and sales and this kind of stuff because I thought it was a valuable asset that I could take with me. But if you don't know what you want to do, you want to go ahead and just start doing something. It could be walking dogs. It could be driving cars. It could be Uber, Lyft. It could be a pizza delivery. It doesn't really matter. Just start doing something and think about what do you want to do and keep on thinking about that until you finally find something that catches your interest. And then you're going to go ahead and put attention to that. So for some of you watching this, you might just pick up a side gig that you definitely know is short term. Some of you might actually know like, okay, this is a business that I actually want to do. And if you decide it is a business, understand, be careful with the businesses you start. You want to have an idea of what's the cap on that business. You don't want to put yourself in a dead end position or a business where there's just not much profit to be made. You're doing something that has no demand. You're not going to be very happy in a year. Do a business with demand, okay? This is something that's probably a whole nother video. If you guys want me to do a video on this, I will. Just drop a comment down below and I can make a video on that because I've struggled with this. Personally, I've struggled with this, okay? So that's step number 1. So step number 2 is to develop skills. Ultimately, everything you're doing should work in alignment. That's why you want to eventually get to the side business that would give you some long-term value. Like if you start a side business where you're forced to learn skill sets that are going to go ahead and you can carry with you, take with you, you're going to be a lot more valuable. So step number 2 is to learn skill sets. And that's really what's going to give you that confidence and that certainty to work on your own. So for me, the skill sets that I focused on were day trading, were marketing, and were understanding, building great teams. Those are the things that I focused on when I initially left my position. Okay. And I started to work on them while I had a position. So you can think of that as like a bonus. If you're going to go ahead and jump into something where you can get some value and some skill sets that are needed in the economy, like meaning these are things businesses want. These are things people want. These are things that are going to help you and help others make money. You're going in the right direction, to put that as simple as possible. At the end of the day, whether you are self-employed, whether you're employed, if you learn skill sets that will separate you from the competition, you will always be wanted. You will always have work. This is what I define as security. A lot of people, they have a definition of security as in like, hey, I just have a job. I'm good. I'm working. But guess what? If that job goes away tomorrow, why does someone want you? Ask yourself that. I know my answer. I learned and study. I'm a maniac. I know how to do so many things. I'm so adaptable and just versatile that you can throw me almost in anything and I can figure it out, right? So that's step number 2 is learn skill sets that will help separate you. My top picks would be in alignment of like marketing, sales, admin, organization, PR, something that super businesses want. I love day trading too because you don't even, just with internet connection, you're able to go ahead and produce some type of income, but altogether you want to be pretty round and have an idea of each of these so that you are needed. Okay, so for step number 3, I have to tell you another story because when I was growing up, like I said, I grew up in a traditional family where we believed that going down one route was the only route to success. Success is being on purpose, being on aim. It's being, working towards a desired result. And, for me, I didn't really know what that result was at first, but now I've gotten more clarity as the years have went on. And I know that I want to impact a lot of people and help a lot of people. And that's what really makes me feel good. And by doing that, by default, I do make a lot of money. That's just how it works. But here's what I realized. So when I was first going through the motions to become successful, I thought that going to the best school possible was the way. So I was hanging around certain people. One particular was my girlfriend. And I had this girlfriend. I was with her for 4 years. She was someone that I really connected with for the first time ever. That first love, we all know what I'm talking about right here, right? So that was her. And basically, she was bad, not the best influence, okay? And basically, I realized, and it was so hard to do, I had to go and let her go to go up. And as soon as I did that, things around me in terms of my goals, in terms of making better decisions, everything got a lot easier. And my point's this is when you look at the hours you're spending with the people around you that are like negative conversations, that are energy draining, for me, it was adding up 3, 4, 5 hours. This is something that adds up. And when you look at that over a year, you're spending weeks of your life every single year just having your energy drained and pouring it into something that's not positive. So when you think about that, you just need to really look at who's around you. And step number 3 is to eliminate the people that are not like-minded, or to at least separate yourself from them long enough to get a bit closer to your goals. And then guess what? Okay, cool. This is what I would do. I would go ahead and I do these sprints, right? Right now, I'm actually doing a sprint right now. I have separated the people that are not in alignment with my next goals for the next 90 days. And I sprint, I hit the goal, and then I go ahead and celebrate it for a bit. That's what's worked for me. Here's the thing is this concept applies in business as well. I've had employees, I have people that I've worked with, as soon as I let that person go, where I realize like, wow, the conversations about this person are more negative than positive. You know who it is, and it's usually difficult to really do this. But as soon as I let them go, I don't even like to say let them go, but like let them free. They're not happy with you, or they're not happy doing what they're doing. Let them go and find their path. They're usually better off without you, and vice versa for them. And then you guys could still be like, oh yeah, that's my guy, but we're just not, you need that separation for you both to expand. Okay. And that's tip number 3 is just really make your environment, line that thing up so that you put yourself in the best possible situation to win. So those are the 3 different tips. So now taking that, where do we go from here? It's going to look a lot different for each person watching this. If you want to go route number 1, which is like the job route, get another job. Okay, cool. Super simple. Figure out what you like to do. Do you like to drive? Do you like to watch dogs? Do you like to watch kids? Do you want to valet? I would say though, if you pick up this second job, find it in an area where you might have some curiosity, because you want to kind of test with this second job. Put yourself around people that are maybe in the realm of what you might want to do. If you're in the category where you want to start a business, okay, cool. Make sure that business has some demand. This is, like I said, probably a whole nother topic. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if this is helping you guys. That's what I'm trying to do here. So make sure that business has demand. And those are basically the 2 main routes, okay, that you could go. And eventually you'll get to that point where this side income surpasses where you're at. And then it's just like, okay, cool, this makes sense. I'm making more doing this. Why don't I go do this full time? Or it matches where you're at, where it's like, okay, cool, I'm making the same amount doing both of these. If I put more energy into this second thing that I actually like a bit more, does it have more potential in the long run? Or is this more of like a thing that is a side thing and I should keep going down the path I'm on? It depends on the situation. I can't just say quit your job at that point. That's not right. It depends on what's actually happening with your current position. How much opportunity is there? And is this the thing you really want to do? And what you shouldn't do is probably what I did. I mean, I did do this, and I'm not going to say that it's not going to work, but this is just me personally, is I went all in and I rolled the dice. I didn't even have my other income secured really. I had, I had maybe 2 clients, and I was starting to do all right with day trading, but it was something that it was like still like, all right, this isn't exactly like a consistent, the same amount of income every single month. I just knew for me, like I'm another breed. Like I'm just willing to go all in and roll the dice. And I've put myself in difficult situations doing that, and it's always worked out. But like I said, the other routes will definitely work all together. As long as you're going and doing these steps, you will get closer to your goals. It will happen. This is Nick Legend. Be great. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and let me know down below what you guys want to see next.
I'm the realest one that's repping. Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend.